let's talk about a feeling that I think we've all had. You know, that moment you're in some kind of confrontation and your mind just goes completely blank? Well, today we're going to get into what's really going on with your brain's automatic pause button and, why it happens.
Okay, picture this. You're in a tense meeting at work, or maybe a difficult argument with family, and then hours later, it's always in the shower, right? The perfect, witty, absolutely brilliant response suddenly pops into your head.
Yeah, of course you have. It is probably one of the most universal and, let's be honest, frustrating human experiences out there. So trust me, you are not alone in this.
And what's the very next thought that comes after that amazing comeback you just thought of? It's usually this wave of self-criticism, and it almost always sounds a little something like this.
Ah, that's the one. Why didn't I say anything? It's just loaded with regret, right? Maybe even a little bit of shame. We totally beat ourselves up for not being quicker on our feet, for not standing our ground. But what if I told you that you didn't really have a choice in that moment?
So, most of us, we've heard about the classic fight or flight response. When our brain senses danger, these are the two big options that pop into our heads.
First step, of course, is fight. This is the aggressive one. You confront the threat, you push back, you defend yourself. Makes sense. And the second one is flight, the escape plan, right? Get out of there, create some distance, remove yourself from the danger. But there's a third incredibly common response that we just don't talk about enough. And that is to freeze, to just stop, to go completely still and silent when you're facing what feels like a threat. And here's the thing, this isn't a failure to act. It's a totally different and equally valid survival strategy.
So let's actually define what we're talking about here. The two words to really latch onto are automatic and involuntary. You don't choose to do this. It is a deep biological reflex your brain fires off when it detects a threat. And yep, that absolutely includes the emotional threat of a tough conversation with your boss or a heated argument with a partner. All right, let's look under the hood a little bit and talk about what's really going on in your brain and your body when it decides to just slam on the brakes. Does any of this sound familiar? You're right in the middle of making a point, and then, poof, the thought is just gone. Or maybe you find yourself just nodding along to something you completely disagree with because the idea of actually saying something feels impossible. You feel totally stuck. That, right there, is the freeze response in action.
So the process is actually pretty fascinating. First, your brain detects a threat, even an emotional one. Then, your nervous system basically hits pause on all your high-level thinking. In that quiet moment, your brain is rapidly assessing the situation. And then only when you feel safe again, when you're back in your car or in the shower, your brain comes back online. And that's when the perfect comeback finally shows up. Okay, this next part is so important. If we really want to get this, we have to completely change the way we think about freezing. So let's just bust this myth right now. The myth is that freezing is some kind of character flaw, that it means you're weak or you're a coward. But the reality, which is backed by biology, is that it's an automatic protective instinct. It's a feature, not a bug of your amazing survival toolkit.
Yeah, this really gets to the heart of it. Your nervous system isn't failing you. It's making a super fast calculation. It's basically saying, whoa, hold on. Fighting back could make this worse. Running away might not work either. Let's just pause. Let's gather some data and not escalate. It's a strategy. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? If there's one thing you remember from our chat today, I really hope it's this feeling of reassurance.
The freeze response, just like fight or flight, has one goal. Just one. And that is to protect you. That is its only job. It's your body's ancient, hardwired system trying its best to keep you safe from harm.
Here's the catch. Our nervous systems are kind of running on some old software. They evolved for a world with, tigers in the grass, not stressful emails. It can't always tell the difference between a real physical danger and a tough performance review. So it treats modern conflict like a life or death situation. And honestly, it's just trying to help.
So the next time you walk away from one of those moments and you're replaying it in your head asking, why didn't I say anything? Just remember this. Give yourself some grace. It wasn't you choosing silence. It was your biology choosing to pause. And it did that for one reason, to protect you.